Welcome to Feminine Sexual Healing. If you're an intelligent woman who's interested in the leading edge of personal growth, tune in to this podcast to learn how to attract healthy, fulfilling relationships, how to have more passion, health, and vitality than ever before, and how to receive incredible abundance in your life through the power of sexual healing. I'm your host, Amrita Grace, and I'm the award-winning, best-selling author of Reclaiming Aphrodite, The Journey to Sexual Wholeness.
Hello, lovely being. Welcome to 5 Secrets to Sexual Sovereignty. What does sovereignty even mean? Well, according to Merriam-Webster, it means freedom from external control or controlling influence. So that translates to autonomy, freedom, independence, and self-governance. Why is this important? Because not so very long ago, women did not have this with regard to their bodies, their sexuality, and their lives. Really, just a few generations ago, women were the property of men. And in many cultures, this is actually still very much the case. First the father, then the husband, or in more sinister cases, some other kind of ownership. And it's not just women either, though that's primarily what I'm addressing today. And it's not always obvious or overt. For example, women were not allowed an education and were unable to support themselves financially, setting up a dependence on their husbands. Often in cases like this, women had to, in essence, trade obedience to their husbands in order to survive and be provided for. To refuse their husband's sexual advances might lead to any number of consequences, ranging from emotional abuse and coercion to divorce and abandonment without support. Think back to your grandmother or great-grandmother. She may very well have been in this situation. Now, I'm not implying here that men are evil or bad. They're not. Men are generally raised and conditioned to be the head of the household and the provider of the family, and there's absolutely nothing inherently wrong with that. However, it does set up a power dynamic that's usually operating below everyone's awareness. And it casts women in the role of the weaker, quote unquote, weaker sex, and sets up unconscious trade agreements. These cultural dynamics have been changing slowly over the past 60 or 70 years, but we still have a long way to go. Even in the US, we still have men making rules about what women can and can't do with their bodies, especially with regard to reproduction. This reality of legislating women's bodies and choices is a particularly overt example of an outdated patriarchal system hanging on for dear life. Here in the US and other first world countries, women are claiming their sovereignty, their autonomy over their bodies, their sexuality, and their capacity to choose what is right for their lives. This isn't feminism. This is a basic human right that we must reclaim and are reclaiming from eons of having our innate feminine power controlled and contained. So how do we do this? What's the secret? There are actually several secrets, and I'm going to give them to you. Secret number 1. We all carry the patriarchy within us, and it's up to us as individuals to come to terms with that idea and to be willing to look inside of ourselves to recognize and uproot outmoded beliefs and unconscious motivations. This is more commonly known as shadow work. And it's the path to true wholeness. When we make friends with and accept and love the parts of ourselves that make us cringe, the parts we want nothing to do with, we are on the way to becoming truly integrated beings. And then these parts no longer have control over us. Secret number 2. We look at the ways we are keeping ourselves in victim roles. And the simplest way to do this is to witness your thoughts and the words you use and to begin to shift them towards taking full responsibility for the reality you create. Even saying something as seemingly innocuous as I have to, implies that you're a victim and that you're not at choice. While it may not seem like we're always at choice, we most certainly are. You always choose how you react in any given situation. As you notice, you can choose different words, such as I want to, I choose to, or the best of all is I get to. Secret number 3. We notice when we don't stand up for ourselves and speak our truth. Most women have been raised and conditioned to be people pleasers, and I believe this is in part a result of the power dynamics I discussed earlier. We've learned and been shown how to tell people what we think they want to hear in order to keep the peace, to avoid confrontation, and to keep ourselves, quote unquote, safe. Time to start shaking that off by noticing where we do so and finding the courage to be real. And it's a process, believe me. Secret number 4. We come to terms with our true needs and desires in sexual relationships, and we find ways to express them. This can be very tricky because of the inherent shame that we've been indoctrinated with around sexuality. It's often way easier to do what's expected of us and not ever have to talk about it. I've heard so many stories recently from women who are having recurring UTIs and other reproductive issues that effectively shut down their sex lives. Their body forces them to say no so they can recover their health. Now, these issues are a cry for help from our bodies, demanding that we take care of them and giving us a painful reason to set boundaries. We don't have to let it get to that. I found myself in an interesting situation not that long ago that relates to this. So just backing up a little bit, as I approached menopause, my formerly healthy libido plummeted. And then after my breast cancer experience and the impact that had on my hormones, it plummeted even further. But I didn't want to change my sexual relationship with my husband, even though I was experiencing painful intercourse and minimal desire. Because I love him and I'm attracted to him. And it's really important to me to have physical intimacy in my marriage. Well, I've never had a UTI in my entire life, but I could feel one coming on, and it woke me right up. With all the tools I have at my disposal, I went straight to my body and my yoni and told her I would change my behavior immediately. Now, if you're not familiar with the word yoni, it's the sacred word for vulva. I put myself right on pomegranate juice, which I happen to have in the house, and sent all my healing energy to my pelvic region. The UTI never fully manifested, much to my relief. It felt like a miracle, and it actually was. I talked to my husband and came clean. While he was not thrilled that I hadn't been previously forthcoming, he was very supportive, and we chose new pathways for physical intimacy that work much better for me. And to this day, we have found ways to be intimate with each other that are satisfying and supportive to both of us and that keep my yoni happy. Secret number 5, make friends with your yoni. Talk to her. She has a voice, powerful wisdom, and quite often very strong opinions. She will guide you in choosing intimate partners, and if you ask her, she'll let you know what she needs and wants. Now, this may sound strange, but give it a try. Find a quiet place to be and close your eyes and take some deep breaths. Settle into your body and place a hand gently and lightly over your pubic mound, and perhaps place the other hand on your heart. Ask her if she's willing to communicate with you, and then listen. She may not be on speaking terms with you at first. In fact, she might be really pissed off, but stay with it. Come back again and again and invite her to share her needs with you. The answers may come as words, as images, as feelings, as sensations, or perhaps in some other way. Follow her guidance and form an ongoing relationship with her. I promise it will benefit you for the rest of your life. Now, I realize that none of these secrets are particularly fast, easy fixes. We are waking up from thousands of years of collective sleep, and while it's well underway, it requires diligence, commitment, and consistency. And I promise you, it's totally worth it. I hope you found these secrets to sexual sovereignty helpful. As I mentioned, they're going to take some commitment and some diligence, and it will really serve you to take the time to dive into each of these pieces. I know we all have busy lives, but these secrets and these methods and these instructions will really create a life of so much more ease and joy and flow for you. And anytime we can get more in touch with our bodies, it is always going to be to our benefit. So have a beautiful rest of your day, evening, morning, or wherever you're at, and many blessings to you.
Thank you for listening. Please visit our website at sacredfemininесchool.com for lots of great resources and information about how to enjoy a lifetime of passion, vitality, and fulfilling relationships. Be sure to subscribe to Feminine Sexual Healing with Amrita Grace to get notified of new episodes. Until next time, remember that sexual healing is the fast track to feminine power and embodiment.